In our last episode, we helped Scribe Valdez secure some valuable technology from the Atlas substructure. There we found an intact ultrasight battery. She went back to tinker with it, but she gave us a letter of recommendation to join the Brotherhood. And this letter of recommendation changes based on our performance. I was only able to capture footage for the version of the letter that we get if we have great performance. Paladin Romani, I hereby strongly recommend the bearer of this note for initiation into the Brotherhood. I have personally tested their competency and believe that they can contribute to our mission at a high level. Their technical chops are impressive, and their combat prowess is such that they should have no issue holding their own in any fight we come across. Performance assessment follows. Discipline follows orders, but also capable of independent action. Technical ability exceeds expectations. Combat ability exceptional. Now we just have to give it to Paladin Romani to see if it's enough. We find the Paladin on the opposite side of the observatory. There she has a small office with a map of West Virginia on the wall, and we find her leaning on her desk, looking at a smaller map.
To see if we can spare any supplies for the relief efforts. Might buy us goodwill with the locals. Ah, you must be the one I've been hearing about. Paladin Layla Romani. What do you need?
So you're in charge of this place, right?
As a paladin, I am the commander of the 1st Expeditionary Force to Appalachia, and by extension, the ranking officer here at Fort Atlas.
What have you heard about me?
I've received a report from Knight Shin detailing your assistance in his duties. He has given his approval to your consideration as an initiate. Word around the fort is that you've been working with Scribe Valdez as well.
I was hoping to join the Brotherhood.
It takes more than hope to join the Brotherhood. Knight Shin has spoken in your favor, but you'd also need Scribe Valdez's approval for me to consider your candidacy.
Scribe Valdez wrote me a letter of recommendation.
Well, between this and the report I have from Knight Shin, we can discuss you becoming a member of our order. Consider it carefully. Do you wish to join our ranks?
Shin and Valdez both recommended me?
Both have given their approval to your initiate consideration. Yes.
We can ask Romani what Shin and Valdez said about us, and her response is different based on the choices we made in the game. I wasn't able to trigger all of the choices, so I'll show you what I got. What did Shin say about me?
Knight Shin said that your attitude regarding the role of the Brotherhood in relation to the civilian community was questionable. Nonetheless, he felt your intentions were honorable and suitable training would correct any deficiencies, which means he probably thought I'd like you. That remains to be seen.
If we completed Valdez's task poorly, and we ask, what did Valdez have to say?
She finds your technical skills somewhat underwhelming, but rates you as otherwise capable and combat ready.
But I never found out what she says if we completed the task correctly, because she actually has something different to say if we read Valdez's letter of recommendation.
Given that you've clearly read her letter, I don't think I need to reiterate its contents.
How did she
I'm
know?
going to trust her judgment, even if you need to learn to respect private communications.
Well, I did read it right in front of her, so I suppose that's only fair. I don't know. You seem like jerks.
I know we can seem cold to outsiders, so I'll let that pass. What I want you to understand is that we are committed to helping the people of Appalachia. We want to aid in the restoration of civilization, and you could be a part of that.
If I don't sleep,
Consider it.
I should be.
What would it mean if I did join?
Membership in the Brotherhood is a commitment to honor, duty, and service. You would begin as an initiate in our ranks. With time and training, you may one day join the scrolls as a knight or scribe, depending on your aptitudes and choices. On a day-to-day basis, Knight Shin would be your direct superior here, though any of the officers may requisition you for missions if needed.
I'm not ready to make this decision yet.
I respect that. It is not a decision anyone should make lightly. Should you feel ready, come back and speak with me. Until then, conduct yourself with honor.
Actually, I would like to join, if you'll have me.
With the recommendations of Knight Shin and Scribe Valdez, I'm willing to consider you for membership. But first, I need to see how you handle yourself without direct supervision. In order to be effective in our operations here, we need to establish positive relations with the people of Appalachia. If we make them see us as a beneficial presence in the area, it will be much easier to secure cooperation in the future. We have reports of feral ghoul attacks on traders and travelers in the southwest forest region, indicative of a nest of some kind. I want you to clear it out.
Why haven't you had some of the other initiates do this already?
While I'm not in the habit of explaining my priorities to would-be recruits, you may have noticed there's a lot of work to be done here. You doing it accomplishes the mission and adds another member to our ranks. 2 birds, 1 stone.
If I do this, I'll be in the Brotherhood?
Complete this mission satisfactorily, and I will grant you initiate status within the Brotherhood. Yes.
We can pass a charisma check of 4 to say, we don't know how dangerous this might be. Surely that's worth an extra reward?
Your reward is that I consider you worthy to join our ranks. Limited intel suggests this is a milk run, perfect for a new recruit. But you're not wrong. We don't know the level of threat. Take this as an additional precaution.
And with that we get a stim pack. Well, where is this nest?
We don't know. Our initial reports on the attacks came from a family of farmers, the Putnams, that we passed on the way into the region. I think their sons were rather starstruck when we showed up. I almost expected the older boy to follow us when we left. You should start your search there. They may know more. You can find them at the old Lewis and Sons farming supply.
I think I have everything I need.
Very well. Do this, and you will be one of us, with all the rights and responsibilities of a full member of the Brotherhood of Steel. Ad Victoriam.
With that, we continue the quest field testing. Go to Lewis & Sons Farming Supply. On Paladin Ramani's desk is a skill level 0 locked terminal. We have to hack it. She doesn't give us the passcode. But if we hack it inside, we find one entry, Arrival. We're here. We've finally arrived. The state of Appalachia is surprising, to say the least. It's a lush landscape compared to the bleak wasteland that we've had to trek through. This is a promising location to establish a new Appalachian Brotherhood of Steel chapter. We had a good stockpile of supplies here upon arrival, thanks to Russell Dorsey and his unwavering support of our cause. But there is much to be done around Fort Atlas. I plan to focus my efforts on establishing relations with the existing factions here in Appalachia, especially with the settlers that reside in Foundation. Managing relations with the raiders in the crater will be arduous, to say the least, but is a challenge that I'm ready for. Gaining the favor of the people in this region will make it easier for us to recruit and to fortify our position. Luckily, we have already attracted the attention of many hopefuls and would-be initiates. The people of Appalachia need our help, and I look forward to aiding them. They have already begun coming to Fort Atlas, requesting assistance. I've charged a Knight Shin with receiving the requests, and I must admit that his distaste for public relations is quite amusing to me. Oh God, I have a feeling this is going to be a recipe for disaster. Well, looks like it's off to Lewis & Sons. Lewis & Sons is not a new location. We found it in the base game before Wastelanders. It's on the western side of the map, north of the Kanawha Nuka-Cola bottling plant. But upon arriving at Lewis & Sons Farming Supply, we see that new settlers have arrived thanks to Wastelanders. There is a farmhouse to the right, which appears to be their family home. There are a couple of dogs walking around outside, and a greenhouse nearby with a lot of fresh produce inside. When ready, we can enter the Putnam residence.
Huh? Whoa there. Mom, Dad!
Who do you think you are barging in here? George?
Hold it, stranger. No funny moves.
You'd better put the gun down before somebody gets hurt.
Pretty sure that's my line, Buster. I'm not the one busting in uninvited. Get over here and start talking before George puts some new holes in ya.
Whoa, lower your weapon. I'm friendly.
So you say, but we'll see. All right, George, lower the gun, but stay ready. Come on now, boys. Get on back to work. You, let's talk.
Regardless of what we choose, the family lets us in The guy who met us at the door, Marty, walks over to what are presumably his parents. Here we find the man and woman of the household, Carol and George Putnam, talking with Carol.
Now you need to be more careful just waltzing into people's homes. It's a good way to end up with more lead in you than's healthy. I'm Carol Putnam. This is my husband, George. Now, won't you tell us why you're barging in here, and maybe we can all be friendly when you're done.
Do you greet all of your visitors with guns?
No, not all. Just the ones that waltz in unannounced looking like trouble.
Maybe I'll come back when everyone has calmed down.
Try not to just bust in next time, and you'll find us plenty hospitable.
This is your farm? The signs outside said Lewis and Sons.
Might not be Lewis or Sons, but this here's ours.
But Lewis was a cousin of mine back in the day. God rest his soul. He and his family didn't make it when the bombs fell. We were looking a good place to put down roots when we heard it was safe to come back to West Virginia. I told Carol we ought to see if this place was still here.
Even after all these years, there's enough salvageable tools and such to make starting a farm easier here than your average homestead. Didn't see any point in updating the sign.
The Brotherhood of Steel sent me to ask about the ghoul attacks in the area.
Those would be them military types in the heavy armor that came through here recently, right? I'm the one that told them about those attacks.
Those Brotherhood guys are so cool. Wait, are you recruiting? I want to sign up.
Their gear was pretty fascinating.
Settle down, boys. The adults is talking. So you want to know about them ghouls?
Is it just the four of you here?
Me, George, and the boys. Marty's the overeager one. Colin's the quiet one. I hope I don't need to remind you, we're not defenseless.
There's also the robots outside, of course. I got them helping with the chores.
Nerd.
Boys, knock it off.
So, us, the robots, and the dogs, I guess. And enough firepower to discourage pests.
How's the farm doing?
Well, we're getting to be self-sufficient soon. Greenhouse is getting there. George wants to restore the house, but we're fine in here.
The boys are gonna want rooms of their own, dear. Don't act like you wouldn't mind being away from their snoring.
We've got other work needs doing first. Lord, if I can put up with your snoring for 20 years, I can surely deal with them.
You boys both want to join the Brotherhood?
Lord, don't get them started.
Oh, yeah. The lasers, the power armor, they are the coolest thing I have ever seen.
Marty, you barely do your chores now, and you get confused by the generator. What good would you be?
Yeah, well, at least I'm not a shrimp like you.
I can pay you to get these two out of my hair.
George!
I'm just kidding. You boys know we love you.
Carol, would you let your sons join the Brotherhood of Steel?
Now, I don't like it, but they're adults. Or close enough, I guess. And I know they're bound to want to do their own thing, but the farm needs work. We can't do it alone. If one of them wants to go, well now, George and I'll just have to live with it. But you ain't taking both of my boys, though.
George, what do you think about your sons joining the Brotherhood?
Careful, George.
You heard the wife. She says one of them can go, then one can go, I suppose.
Well, I wasn't sent here to do any recruiting.
I'd prefer you kept it that way, then.
I think I could be a real asset to you, though. I'm good with machines, and I work hard. Heck, I'm the one who repaired the bots outside.
Forget about him. The Brotherhood's tough, not a bunch of nerds. I'd be perfect.
Let it be, boys.
Enough of that. I had some other questions.
Fine by me.
Paladin Romani sent me to find out if you knew where the ghoul attacks are coming from.
Can't say for certain. We got a suspicion, though.
A lot of the sightings and attacks have been from folks traveling the highway to Flatwoods. They come out of the hills, northwest of the old creamery.
And the only thing out that way is what's left of the Orwell orchards. Could be the source of the things. You gonna wipe them out when you find them?
Any idea how many ghouls there might be?
Not sure. More than a few, less than an army. From what folks have said, if you're going in alone, even a few can swarm you before you realize what's happening. Be careful out there.
We can pass a charisma check of 4+ to say, sounds like I'd be helping you out if I did. Maybe there's a reward in it for my efforts.
Aren't you on a mission from the Brotherhood? You're doing it for them, not for us.
She's right, of course, but that doesn't mean we're not grateful for the risk you're taking. Now here, wherever you find ghouls, you're going to find radiation. Now, we can spare this.
And with that, he gives us 1 rad X. The plan's to clear the place out entirely.
Good to hear.
You'd be doing everybody in the area a favor. That's for sure.
Safe roads mean safer traders. Good for everyone. The Brotherhood would definitely be making friends if you pull this off.
Thanks for the info. I should head out.
Just try not to startle us if you drop by again. George has a hair trigger with that shotgun.
With that, the Putnam boys walk off. We can try to talk with George Putnam here,
Be safe out there. Good luck to you.
but it doesn't have much to say. Well, time we got to know the brothers here. We'll start by talking with Colin Putnam.
I really would like to join the Brotherhood. I know I'm not as strong as my brother, but you've got to have a need for somebody smart, right?
So you're saying you're smart?
Smarter than Marty, anyway. No offense to my brother, but if he can't solve a problem with his muscles, he's stumped. I read anything I can find. Most of the work and machinery around the farm is my handiwork. I'm the one who got the bots running. The Brotherhood can't be all brawn and no brains, right?
You don't seem like the military type.
Maybe I'm not, but I'm not cut out to be a farmer either. The Brotherhood has tech, and that's an opportunity to learn. That's all I want.
Do you think you can handle combat?
I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't be nervous. Won't know until it happens, I suppose. But I'm willing to risk it if it means getting out of here.
Wouldn't you rather stay with your parents? It seems safe here.
It is safe. So safe I'll end up still running this place when I'm old. There's nothing wrong with farming, and I love my parents, but there's so much more out there.
There are other ways off the farm than joining the Brotherhood.
Maybe so, but Marty's right about one thing. The Brotherhood has the coolest tech. It'd be amazing to get to work with it and learn from them.
It's a big decision, Colin. Are you sure you want to join the Brotherhood?
I'm sure. This farm isn't the place for me. The Brotherhood could change the world. It's where I belong. Can you make me a recruit?
I'm really not even a member myself yet. I'm not sure what'll happen.
You're not. But you said their paladin asked you to come here. Still, if you can talk to her, you could tell her I helped you out. That would have to count for something as a potential recruit.
Honestly, Colin, I'm not sure. I'm willing to recommend you, though, if you can help me.
All right, that seems fair enough. I'll do my best to earn that recommendation, I promise. Are you sure about me, though? I know my brother wants this too, and I heard Mom. Only one of us can go.
I'll see you later, Colin.
Okay. I'll be here if you reconsider.
Well, before we make our decision, we should probably talk with the other brother. Heading upstairs, we find Marty Putnam working on the floor.
You gotta take me with you. I'm ready for this. I just know it. I'll be just like that Night Shin who was here before.
You met Night Shin?
Heck yes. And Paladin Romani. So cool. Yeah, I asked them a bunch of questions and told them about wanting to leave the farm and everything, and they said I was remarkably keen. I think that means they liked me.
What makes you a good recruit for the Brotherhood?
I'm strong, I'm fit, and I'm ready to fight. Whatever you need, I'll fight mutants, or ghouls, or raiders, or whatever.
Have you ever actually been in a fight?
Well, no. But I use a rifle sometimes to keep critters away from the crops. One night, I thought I saw a super mutant coming out of the woods, so I shot it. Dad came running because of the noise. It turned out it was just dark and I shot a bush, but I wasn't scared.
Would you really want to leave your parents here?
Oh, Mom and Dad are fine here. The farm is their dream, not mine. Besides, the only thing I'm really good for around here is hauling things. I can't grow anything to save my life. I know Colin's got the brains, but even I know that's a bad thing for a farmer.
You don't have to join the Brotherhood to leave the farm, you know.
I suppose. But where else would I get to wear that totally awesome armor and learn to be as cool as Night Shin?
Marty, do you really want to join the Brotherhood of Steel?
Of course! Them showing up is the most exciting thing that's happened to me in, ever. I know I sound like a kid asking for a treat, but I mean it. I'll do whatever it takes. Can you really get me in?
I don't know. I'm not actually even a member myself yet.
What? Really? But you're working for him, right? I mean, you could put in a good word for me, if you wanted.
We can lie and say, of course. I'm kind of a big deal with the Brotherhood.
Awesome! I am your guy. Definitely. I mean, if you're sure. I really want to do this.
I can't promise they'll take you, but if you help me, I can vouch for you.
Oh, of course. I'm sure they'll listen to you. I'll be a big help. Just you wait. But are you sure you want to take me? I don't want to talk you out of anything, but I'm not your only choice. I mean, the best choice, obviously. But...
Maybe you're right. I should probably talk to your brother, too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you want. But you'll see, I'm the clear choice. Not that Colin's not great or anything, but he's not Brotherhood material, like me. Let me know when you're ready to make a decision.
Once done talking with the brothers, we have to make a decision. If we choose to go with Marty, we can say, I'm certain. I like your attitude, Marty.
Awesome! Yes! Yes! You are not gonna regret this, I promise. I will be the best recruit ever. I'll get my things and meet you at Orwell Orchards. Don't worry, you go on ahead. I will be there.
Or if we want to choose Colin, we can say, you're my pick, Colin. I want you to come with me.
Really? That's incredible. Thank you. You go on ahead. I need to talk to my folks and say goodbye and that kind of thing. I'll meet you at Orwell Orchards.
Oh, he's gonna come with me. Oh, we better not get him killed. No matter which brother we pick, the one we don't is a tad salty.
I guess Marty was the obvious choice to join the military. He can be a little much, but he's got a good heart. Just keep him safe, please, okay?
So now we need to head to Orwell Orchards. Orwell Orchards is a location that we've probably explored towards the beginning of the game. But with this DLC, we find that it's changed a bit. However, we can go over the place's lore to better understand the story that went on here. If we go to the warehouse just outside the family home, the one with radioactive barrels just outside, we find a compost bin, and inside the bin is a holotape. Lucky Hits lottery recording.
Dear Mr. and Mrs. Bennett Orwell, we of the West Virginia Lucky Hits Lottery Company are pleased to inform you of the result of our November lottery game, held on the 10th of this month. Your names are attached to Lucky Hits, Lotto Ticket 59, 28, 42, 88. We are overjoyed to tell you that this ticket was November's lucky lottery winner. It's the largest single-month game in Lucky Hits history. You are hereby approved to receive an immediate cash payment in the amount of $300,000. Mr. and Mrs. Orwell, congratulations! A local Lucky Hits prize representative will be arriving at your residence on November 30th, just a few short days away. To avoid any unnecessary mix-ups, please contact our headquarters as soon as possible to confirm your home address. Now, we advise that it's in your best interest to keep this news from the public's attention. We value all of our Lucky Hits customers, and we can't wait to hear from you. Once again, congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Orwell, winners of West Virginia's largest ever lottery game.
So the Orwell family living here won the lottery. But we get the impression that the lotto drawing was heavily automated. They drew the Orwells' winning numbers on the 10th of November. That was a couple of weeks after the nuclear Armageddon that took place on October 23rd, 2077. This holotape must have arrived by mail or by courier robot. I wonder who put it in the compost bin. Heading inside the family home, we find a corpse just outside the front entrance. Inside is a Mr. Farmhand, and on the floor of the living room is another corpse. There's a staircase leading up to the second floor. This floor is mostly empty, but on a dresser, we find Cheryl's journal. October 14th, 2077. Ian went to Charleston today to ask for another loan. The bank turned him down again. I'm not sure what we'll do now. We knew this year might be rough, but I doubt we can even pick 100 bushels from the trees outside. Those oil traps didn't do much to stop our moth problem, and we can't afford enough insecticide without some serious help. I don't know where we can get that kind of money. No matter what, this fall's crop is mostly gone. Oh, wait a minute. Was the husband's name Bennett or Ian?
Dear Mr. and Mrs. Bennett Orwell,
Maybe Ian was his middle name, and he went by Ian. Looks like the Orwell family was in dire straits even before the bombs dropped. What luck to have won the lottery, but what awful luck that the world ended before they could get the money. That's a fat slice of irony. After looting a couple of containers and a zero-skill locked safe against the wall, we can head downstairs and take a basement staircase down to the laundry room. Here we find another corpse lying against a box. And what's new is we find a door leading to the Orwell bomb shelter. Heading down the stairs, we find a huge room designed to look like a golf course. And here we find one of the two brothers that we chose. And naturally, their dialogue is different depending on the brother we find here. We'll start by having a conversation with Marty Putnam.
All right, you're here. Sorry for rushing in first, but I just couldn't wait. Whew, this basement is crazy, right? This has got to be the place. So, how are we doing this?
I left first. How are you here already?
Shortcuts. Yeah, you know your way around these woods. You can get lots of places. Plus, I ran. I was excited, okay?
Before the fighting starts, do you have a weapon?
Sure do. Yeah, Dad gave me an old pistol he had. I used to plink cans with it. Pretty sure I can do the same to some nasty ghouls.
Did you already know this bunker was here?
Not at all. I just figured ghouls are spooky and basements are spooky, so basements are where ghouls would be. Oh, is that not right? Do ghouls like attics?
You sure you want to get in on this fight? You could hide out here if you want.
No way! I didn't come here to chicken out. I'll prove to you I can handle this. Just you wait.
We could tell him that there's no time for chit-chat and to get going for a fight. We could try to convince him to stay calm, to follow close behind and not to panic. Or we can pass a charisma check of 4 to say, "Get fired up, Marty. I'm on point, and we're going in hot."
Right on. Yeah, let's go. I'm on your 6. That's what you say, right?
Or, if we chose Colin...
Hey, you're here. Seemed like this was the place. I had to sneak past everything outside, and then I heard some noises deeper in here, so I just holed up to wait for you. I hope that's okay.
How did you get here before me?
I know some shortcuts, and you don't grow up with an older brother without learning to be at least a little sneaky.
Are you armed?
Yeah. Dad gave me one of his old pistols so I can defend myself. I don't have a lot of practice, but how hard can it be, right? Don't answer that.
Did you know about this bunker?
Not until I got here, no. But you were looking for a nest of feral ghouls. The house seemed a likely bet to have some hiding places. That led me here.
And like with Marty, we could pass a check to get him to come with us, but in this case, I didn't want him to get hurt. And so we can say, if this is too much too soon, you can hide out up here until it's over.
I mean, if you think that's okay. I don't want you to think I'm a coward, but it'd be pretty dumb to get myself killed before I ever get to the Brotherhood, I guess.
That's what we want to avoid. I didn't want to risk getting this poor kid killed, and so I said, I'm not going to hold it against you, Colin. You weren't trained for this.
Yeah, I hope you mean that. Okay, I'll take cover here. Let me know when the fighting stops.
With that, Colin stays back here in the fake golf course. Or, if we convinced either brother to come with us, they follow us into the next room. Almost immediately, we find ghouls. It looks like a pool. Huh, pretty elaborate fallout bunker. And as we move towards the wet bar, we see more ghouls up a staircase. But that lures the rest of them, including a glowing one. That's most of them. Looks like there's one or two left, but we can take some time now to explore. There's a lot of scrap all over the place, but as we start looting the wet bar, we get jumped by more. Nicely done, Marty. Maybe he's Brotherhood material after all. After exploring the pool and looting what we can move up the staircase to the west. There's a door to the left and a door to the right. Heading through the door to the right first, we can close the door behind us so that we don't attract more ghouls. Risking a light, we can explore the place. This looks like an office. We find Ian Orwell's terminal on a desk, and framed on the wall behind him is a note labeled Lucky Hits. Lucky Hits, West Virginia Lottery. 59, 28, 42, 88. Drawing date November 10th, 2077, $85. Due to the fact that this ticket is framed, we get the impression that Ian Orwell, at least, knew that he had a winning ticket. But that would mean that he must have gone topside after the bombs dropped and found the holotape. Perhaps he found it in his mailbox, listened to it, realized he'd won, but chucked it in the compost bin, knowing he'd never get the money, now that the world was over. Next, we can explore his terminal, Ian Orwell's personal terminal. We find the entries organized by date. November 15th, 2077. If Cheryl only knew how far into debt I had gone building this place, she would have killed me. Looks like it paid off in the long run, though. She knew the bank denied our last loan, but didn't know exactly why. I'd like to see the bank try to get their money back now. There was no saving the orchard anyway. We hadn't been profitable in years, and that was before the moths. That's not the worst of it. Right before the bombs dropped, we found out we won the daggone lottery. The rep was supposed to show up next month, but I guess that's not happening now. Too bad. We could use the cash as extra toilet paper. Wait a minute. This entry is November 15th, 2077. The lottery was on November 10th. 2077.
We of the West Virginia Lucky Hits Lottery Company are pleased to inform you of the result of our November lottery game, held on the 10th of this month.
In this entry, he says that he knew that he had won the lottery before the bombs dropped. How can he say that he found out that he won the lottery before the bombs dropped if the drawing took place after the bombs dropped? Or am I missing something here? Maybe they're trying to tell us that there was something a bit more sinister or corrupt with the lottery process in West Virginia. Maybe Ian bribed the lottery officials so that they would draw his ticket, and so he knew he was going to win before the drawing on November 10th. Okay, that would explain it, but of course we don't have any indication that he did bribe the lottery officials. Or maybe the real drawing was done in secret beforehand, and they reached out to him to let him know that he had won before they announced the official winners on November 10th. Also possible, but again, we have no indication that that actually happened. Anyway, I'm getting lost in the weeds here. Moving on. In the next, December 25th, 2077, Merry Christmas. It's been a little over a month since we took shelter. We're doing all right. Supplies are good and all of the equipment is running smoothly. Cheryl has pretty much gotten over me not telling her about this place. I surprised her this morning with the crib I got before everything went to hell. She was pretty excited. I still don't know how she didn't manage to find it. She always talked about how much she wanted a kid, but the orchard was always our priority. Well, we have plenty of time now. I think it'll be nice to have some new life down here. Oh, God. We didn't kill a baby ghoul, did we? And the next one, March 16th, 2078. It's been about 5 months. Still no luck on the baby front, not for lack of trying. I'm starting to think the radiation from above is beginning to leak down here. We're still good on supplies for at least another year. It's been hard trying to stay on top of all of the repairs. The pool pump broke last week, the fusion generator a few days before that. One of the projectors is shot, and I think the heater is beginning to go. As long as we stay on top of repairs, we should be fine. In the next one, September... what? 2078? It's September now, I think. We lost track of what day it was a few months ago. The leaves in the orchard are probably starting to turn. That was always my favorite time of the year. Damn near everything has stopped working. We're down to just the essentials: air, water, and food. We've got plenty of books to read, though, and my putting game has never been better. I haven't been feeling too well these last couple months. My hair has been falling out, and I'm having trouble keeping on any weight. Cheryl says we need to find help because this place is making me sick. We'll be fine. I'm not ready to leave yet. Uh-oh. We did kill a glowing one. Could it be Ian? In the next one. Hua? 2078. Still feeling like crap. Mind is fogged. Hard to focus. Hard to type. But we're safe down here. I made sure of that. Cheryl doesn't understand the sacrifice, the debt, months of preparation, all for her. Her and that baby we'll never have. She wants to leave. She can't leave. I won't let her. Sounds like he might have gotten hungry. In the last one, we find an option, security door control. We can open a nearby security door, but where is this door? We find a hole in the western wall. Through it, we arrive in a walk-in closet. This looks like the master bedroom, and it's in pretty good shape. We find a skill level 2 locked safe beneath the shelves. Moving into the main room, we can close the door, just in case. We see another door against the western wall, and a dead radroach on the ground. We see that Ian put backlit windows in the wall to simulate skylight from outside. Nice touch. And nearby, we see the crib that he bought for his wife. We find children's toys on a nearby table and inside the crib. But it looks like the crib never got used. We'll start by opening the door in the western wall. This leads to their private bathroom. We find a skeleton in the shower. But whose skeleton is this? There is blood spatter on the walls and a toothbrush on the ground. This person was killed. Murdered while brushing his or her teeth in the shower. Did Ian finally kill his wife Cheryl? Back to the master bedroom, we can open the southern door. We come out on the other side of that blocked up hallway. Here we can climb the stairs to the west and round the corner. We arrive in a living room and we see activity on the other wall from a room we just came from. So there's something still alive down here and it must be wandering around. There is a door in the eastern wall, a fireplace to the south, a baby stroller lying on the ground. Well, they really were prepared to have a child. We find a wall crumbling in the kitchen. This shelter did not last very long. And we see the security door in the western wall. This must be the one we opened using the terminal. There is a sleeping bag on the ground, and by the sleeping bag is a radroach. Turning around, we find a button that controls the security door. It appears to work, but it also looks like someone was trying to repair it or get it working again. We find a screwdriver and a wrench lodged in the sucker. Perhaps Ian locked somebody in here, and that person was trying to get out. We find canned foods and water lying on the ground. No remains, however, but then, lying on a bench next to some handcuffs, is a note. Trapped. All I wanted was to get some help, and he trapped me in here like some sort of animal. I was able to repair the button that opens the door while he was asleep. He has the only key out of this godforsaken place. Tomorrow, when I hear the shower, I'll take my chances. If anyone is reading this, please know I had no other choice. Ian, I'm sorry. I know this isn't you anymore. Please know that I still love you. Cheryl. It was Ian's skeleton in the shower. He locked Cheryl in here, but what he didn't know is that she found a way to shimmy the button. She could get out, and she waited until he was in the shower to murder him. But then that means that the glowing one we killed was Cheryl. Though I suppose it could mean that she escaped. After all, we found the door to the bunker open, and maybe ghouls at some future point found their way down here. Out of the security room, the only door we haven't explored in this room is the one in the western wall. This just leads to a mostly empty bathroom. With the living room and lounge explored, we can open a door in the eastern wall to head down a staircase leading back to the golf course and gym. But we still hear sounds of movement coming from the north. Looks like we missed something. Heading back into the pool room, we find it on the stairs. A withered feral ghoul. We see that there was a room up here that we missed right across from the office, and here we find what is likely the source of the radiation that ultimately poisoned the people who lived here, a malfunctioning fusion generator. Remember, Ian said in his terminal that the fusion generator was one of the first things to go belly up. Looks like he never got it repaired, and it ended up poisoning him. As we get close, we do indeed begin to take on rads. A lot of rads. 10 rads a second. There's a weapons workbench here. After looting and scrapping up, we can head out to talk to Marty.
Holy crap! Wow. Okay. I'm alive. That was intense.
Are you okay?
Is it weird if I've never felt this alive? Yeah, I think I'm okay. I don't think I've got any permanent injuries.
How'd you like your first taste of action?
Well, now that it's over, I won't lie, I was pretty freaked out. I might still be freaked out. My heart's racing, and I think I've got the shakes. Is it okay if I get some real training before we do anything like that again?
After all that, are you still interested in joining the Brotherhood?
Oh, for sure. More than ever. Watching you fight was amazing. If they can teach me to be half as cool as you, it'll be the best.
You handled yourself all right out there, Marty. Pack your things and report to Fort Atlas for training.
You got it, boss. I'm gonna make you proud, don't worry. You, Mom, and Dad. Maybe even Colin. I'll see you there.
And with that, he walks off to report to Fort Atlas. This conversation goes a bit differently if instead we had Colin.
Oh, God. Oh, wow. That was a lot.
Regretted coming here?
No. I kind of regret not actually joining the fight, but I made the right call in coming out here. I just hope I'm braver next time.
Everything all right?
Well, aside from feeling like I let you and myself down by hiding while you did all the work, I'm okay. Please don't hold this one against me. I've just never been in a fight before.
Still want to join the Brotherhood?
Definitely. I might not be the most brave in a fight, but you must need people to keep everything running. And if the occasional moment of terror is the price for getting to work with their tech, I can live with it.
You did all right, Colin. You should pack up and head to Fort Atlas when you're ready.
I will. Thanks again for keeping me alive, as well as giving me this chance. I'll make sure you and the rest of the Brotherhood don't regret it. Be safe out there.
And with that, Colin makes his way to Fort Atlas. With the ghouls clear and our job done, we also can head to Fort Atlas and check in with Paladin Romani.
Welcome back. Have you completed your assigned mission, candidate?
I've cleared out the ghouls and found you a new recruit at the same time.
So that's why the Putnam boy showed up here. He's very enthusiastic. Nothing a little training and discipline can't mold. Looks like you've expanded our ranks by more than just yourself. Assuming he doesn't wash out. I like that initiative, soldier. Good work.
That's her response if we recruit Marty, but if we recruit Colin...
Ah, that explains young Colin Putnam arriving at our doorstep then. Bright kid. I can't say Shin thought much of him, but if he makes it through basic training, I think you found us another scribe. That'll make Valdez happy. I'm very pleased with your initiative. Excellent job. You've not only met the challenges our officer set you, but you have gone above and beyond by bringing a new brother into our order. I hereby confer on you the status of probationary initiate in the Brotherhood of Steel. I'm sorry, but we'll have to put the official initiation right on hold. Something's come up, and we need to deal with it right away. If you've got anything else you need to take care of, make it quick. Report to me again when you're ready.
Just a probationary initiate? I guess I'll take it. With that, we complete the quest, Field Testing. And if we complete it by recruiting Marty, we get the Farmhand, a 3-star legendary super sledge. It has a 40% faster swinging speed, grants +1 to endurance, and has a 50% bonus to damage against ghouls. But if instead we chose to recruit Colin Putnam, we get the 3-star legendary plasma pistol, Mind Over Matter. It does 30% extra damage to ghouls, causes 10% greater damage while aiming, and grants us +50 to damage resistance while aiming. We then begin the quest Disarming Discovery, help the retreat for Paladin Romani. Now that we are an initiate, we unlock a few more dialogue options with some of the other members. Heading back to Scribe Valdez, we can ask her, "Now that I'm an initiate, can I become a scribe?" And she has a different response based on our performance when we worked with her in the last episode. If we did poorly,
Maybe. Someday. Though, after my stint as your observer, I think I'd recommend a different role for you in our organization.
but if we did well,
Someday. You have what it takes. I've seen that much. I'd have you promoted here and now if I could. But the Brotherhood is slow to trust outsiders. You'll have to keep working for it. Be patient, put in your time, and know that I have your back.
heading back to Shin, now that we're an initiate, we can say, "How can I be of service?"
If you're not sure what to do, then stay at your post and await orders. There's a lot going on around here right now. We haven't even unpacked, and there are people pressed up against our windows with petitions. I've got enough to deal with without having to babysit new recruits.
If we recruited one of the Putnam boys, we find them downstairs in the Galleon rec room, where we found the petitioners at the beginning of the DLC. We find Marty Putnam chilling on the couch.
Hey, good to see ya.
How do you like Fort Atlas, Marty?
Oh, it's incredible. I don't know what half the stuff does around here, and Scribe Valdez says I'm not allowed to touch anything, but it's so cool.
Have you started training?
Oh yeah, no, Night Shin's got me doing chores, mainly. He says I need to develop discipline before I'm ready for anything else. And push-ups. So many push-ups.
Do you miss your family and the farm?
I mean, sure, I guess. My family, more than the farm. But really, I'm too excited to be here most of the time to think about it. If you see them, though, let them know I'm okay.
I'll see you around, Marty.
Ad Victoriam! That's what we're supposed to say, right?
If instead we recruited Colin, we find him in the same place.
Hello? How are you?
What's your impression of Fort Atlas, Colin?
This place is a gold mine. Of science, I mean. Not just the gear the Brotherhood brought here, but the machines that were already here from the observatory are amazing. This stuff doesn't even seem like any telescope I've ever read about, really. It's so advanced.
Are the Brotherhood training you?
They sure are. Night Shin's trying to whip me into some kind of physical shape. Says I'm scrawny. I'm also working with Scribe Valdez a lot. She's teaching me so much.
Any regrets about coming here?
None. I mean, I miss my family sometimes, but this is where I was meant to be. If you do go back to the farm, though, tell him I love him. Even Marty.
I've got to be going.
I'll be seeing you around here. Ad Victoriam.
Whoop, that got cut off. Ad Victoriam. Lastly, we can head back to Lewis & Sons to see how the Putnam family is doing without one of their sons. Heading inside, we can talk to George.
How's my boy doing with the Brotherhood?
If we chose to take Marty, we can say, Marty's fine. The Brotherhood says he's very enthusiastic.
Marty always liked playing soldier. He liked those old armor race toys, that kind of thing. He's a hard worker if you can get him to stay interested. Take care of him, please.
If instead we chose to take Colin, we can say, Colin's well. Paladin Romani says he's a good scribe candidate.
Scribe? Is that like a librarian or something? He was always one for books. He'd read anything he can get his hands on, like he was trying to suck the world in through words. I know he's not the toughest around, but he'll make you proud. I'm sure of it.
How's the farm doing?
Pretty much the same. Bit more work with one less set of hands, but we make do. Carol okayed putting one of the bots to work on the old house, so maybe we'll be able to move in there eventually. Won't need as much room now, of course.
Any more trouble locally?
Nothing much. With the ghouls cleaned up, trade's doing better, which is good for us. thanks again for the help.
I noticed you let Carol make all of the decisions around here.
That I do, yep. She's smarter than me. She's tougher, too. And I trust her judgment. If I disagreed and it mattered, I'd say so. You can save the macho posturing for those raider dopes.
See you around, George.
Take care of yourself.
Then moving to Carol.
Back again, are ya? Hope you're not here to haul off another one of my sons.
If we chose to take Marty, we can say, just thought I'd check in. Marty's in training at the fort.
Well, I hope you're keeping an eye on him. 'Cause I'll consider you responsible if anything bad happens.
How are you doing with Marty gone?
I'm his mother. Of course I miss him. Still, I hope you won't think me too unsentimental when I say I don't miss cleaning up after him. I know the world already ended, but I've never seen a messier kid. Your problem now. Doesn't mean I don't still love him, though.
Or if instead we chose to take Colin, we can say, just thought I'd check in. Colin's in training at the fort.
He always was keen on studying. You'd best be looking out after him. It was your call to take him with you, so it's on you if he gets hurt.
How are you doing with Colin gone?
He'll always be my baby, even if he comes back in a suit of power armor one day. I try to be proud of what he's doing. Happy he's finally getting a chance to learn something special. Can't say I succeed all the time, but it helps.
How's the farm holding up now with one less person?
We're managing. Thanks for nothing. You know, we're small enough an operation to get by, and them bots Colin fixed up helped pick up the slack. Still, no substitute for an extra set of hands, though. But with the ghouls gone, there's more trade coming past Flatwoods, though. Thanks for that, at least.
So I guess it's a no to your other son joining the Brotherhood?
You already got one. Take care of him. And I'll pretend like you didn't just ask me that.
Any more trouble since last time?
Nothing needing your attention now. Just the, usual farm pest. And the occasional scavenger mistaking this for a place to look for scrap.
I should be going.
Fine by me.
And finally, we can talk with whichever son we left behind. We'll start by talking with Colin.
Hello again. Any word from my brother?
Marty's in training at the fort. Night Shin's probably working him hard.
Discipline would probably do Marty good. He's not gonna have his little brother picking up his chores anymore. Let him know that I'm not mad at him, though, okay? He's still my brother.
How's life on the farm treating you?
Same as it ever did, I guess. I still wish you'd taken me for the Brotherhood instead of Marty. I feel like I'm wasting away here. I get it, though. Marty always was tougher.
You still dreaming about leaving? Joining the Brotherhood?
Of course I am. I mean, I probably missed my shot with the Brotherhood, but farming isn't what I want from my life. In a way, I should probably thank you. You not picking me made me realize I'm gonna have to do this myself. I'll find my own way out of here. One way or another.
How are your parents taking Marty being gone?
They miss him, naturally. Sometimes I think they like the quiet without him here. But then I think they kinda miss the ruckus too. Me too, if I'm honest.
Everything running all right with the farm?
Things are quiet. Repairs are ongoing, the crops are doing well. We haven't had any major problems. Since you cleared out the ghouls, things are as normal as they get around here.
I've got to be going.
See you around.
But if instead we took Colin, we can check in with Marty.
Oh, hey there. Welcome back. Hope Colin's all right.
How are you doing, Marty?
Okay, I suppose. And not gonna lie, I was pretty sore about you picking Colin to join the Brotherhood. Oh, at first, anyway. But I guess it made me look at what I've got here differently. We've got a good place here. Our own home, land. Yeah, a lot of folks have it much worse. I'm gonna make the best of it. And make my folks proud, too.
Do you still think about joining the Brotherhood?
Sometimes, yeah. But I gotta be realistic. The farm's where I am, and Mom and Dad need help here. You have to grow up sometime, I guess.
Colin's in training at the fort. Sounds like he's going to be a scribe one day.
That's somebody who writes things? Yeah, that sounds up his alley for sure. I'm jealous, but I'm still glad for him. Tell him not to forget us, huh?
Everything okay with your parents now that Colin's gone?
Well, Dad's handling it better than Mom. Colin's her baby, you know. But Colin was never cut out for farm life. I think they knew it, and they're proud he got a chance to do something different.
Any trouble on the farm?
Nah, nothing unusual anyway. Just pests and critters trying to snack on the crop sometimes.
Take care of yourself, Marty.
Thanks. You too.
Now we need to help this retreat for Paladin Romani. To find out exactly what we have to do, we'll check in with Paladin Romani in our next episode. I publish new Fallout videos each and every week on my channel, so if you don't want to miss that episode, be sure to subscribe and to click that bell notification button. If you have already, but you still feel like you're missing out on YouTube notifications, consider following me on Twitter at Oxhorn. I update Twitter manually with every new piece of content that I publish. I've got a shirt shop with completely unique designs that you can't find anywhere else. My designs come on shirts in a variety of men's, women's, and children's sizes, and in a wide array of colors. You can find them on other products as well, like smartphone cases, pillows, posters, mugs, stickers, prints, etc. So if interested, you can find a link to my shop in the description below, or you can click here. If you like what I do and you want to support me in a more personal way, consider becoming a patron on Patreon or a member here on YouTube. YouTube members and patrons on Patreon gain access to a private channel on my Discord server, and YouTube members get little badges that appear next to their names in the comment sections of my videos, and access to ox emojis that they can use in my video comments and in the live chats of my live streams. But more than anything, I'm just so glad you're here watching this video with me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon with more brand new videos.
I don't like the way you've been looking all mighty around these parts. Sick of hearing about you. Gonna wait a whole nother hour for that food to reheat.